Is going on, Cuse Nation? Welcome back to yet another edition of Bleed Orange. My name is Landon Cook, as always, and thank you for watching. Today, we will be taking a look at the 2021 March Madness predictions. Now, I know I'm a little late, and I am ecstatic that the Syracuse Orange will be participating in Indianapolis this coming weekend. Now, I'm filming this about 11:38 a.m. on Friday morning. So tonight, the Orange go on to face San Diego State. Now, the last time the Aztechs and the Orange met was on the aircraft carrier. In fact, did you want to Jim Boeheim's favorite venues for a basketball game? And he said, in his words, this will be the best moment in college basketball. Now, the wind was a little so-so on that day. The Aztecs are very good at shooting the three ball. Couldn't shoot it in 2012, but can't judge them for two reasons. One, it was super windy, and two, that was way back when with different players. That was back when Brandon Trish, Michael Carter-Williams, and all those good Akita played for us. So that was way back when. But it is 2021, folks, and we will be breaking down the March Madness 2021 Division I Men's Basketball Championship bracket. Now, yesterday in the first four, I had chose Norfolk State to beat Appalachian State, which they did. I had chose Drake to beat Wichita State, which they did. I chose Texas Southern to beat Mount St. Mary's, which they did. But I did not get the Michigan State UCLA. I had Michigan State winning that game. Now, we will start on the west side of the bracket, starting with the best team in basketball this year, Gonzaga Bulldogs. And they will go on to face Norfolk State after they took down Appalachian State Thursday night. Now, Gonzaga is 26-0, a chance to be the second team in college basketball history to go undefeated in a whole regular season and a whole postseason. It's very, very tough to do in all the years of college basketball. Only one team has done it. Now, this is pretty obvious. Gonzaga versus Norfolk State. I have the Zags winning that game, advancing to the second round on the 22nd. Now, next game in the West, the winner will go on to face the Zags, Oklahoma and Missouri. Oklahoma is an 8 seed and Missouri is a 9 seed. Now, these two teams, and this is basically a toss-up matchup, but when you look at the statistics, the 9 seed has a better record against the 8 seed in history. It goes to show you that it's a 50-50 matchup. In this case, like a 51-49, but they have better numbers over the years. But I'm going to take Oklahoma in this matchup. I have the Sooners taking down Missouri, going to play Gonzaga in the next round. Next up, you have Creighton versus UCSB, a 5-seeded Creighton who got destroyed and demolished by the Hoyas in the Big East Championship. Will go on to play the Fighting UCSB. UCSB is 22-4 on the season, and Creighton is 20-8, a toss-up matchup. Now, I don't like Creighton. I don't think they're very good, but UCSB is not a very good team either. So I'm going to have the 5-seeded Creighton go on and beat UCSB for a chance to play Virginia or Ohio coming up in the next prediction. Now, Virginia versus Ohio. Now, here's the thing with Virginia. The Orange faced Virginia last Thursday, about a week ago. A day later, they were known to have COVID. So, going into Selection Sunday, there was always a thought that the Orange could have had COVID, but everyone's fine. I believe it's because Gerard and Buddy Boeheim already had it, and so did Jim. So the whole team is it's going to be tough to catch it twice in the same season, if you know what I'm saying. So Virginia versus Ohio, 4-seeded matchup. The Cavaliers go on to face the Ohio Wildcats. Now, Ohio's a good team, but not good enough to beat a team like Virginia. Even if a player who did have COVID played against the Orange, it wouldn't really matter. It was only about 3 players, and not many of them are that much of a key like Kihei Clark or Sam Hauser. So, of course, I have Virginia winning this matchup, a close one, a close game though, because a few of the starters are benched due to COVID protocol. USC versus Drake. Now, I had Drake winning against Wichita State. I was right about that. Now, any logic would tell you to pick Drake in this situation, or would tell you to pick USC in this situation, because to be honest with you, I knew that Wichita State was a better team, but hey, it's called March Madness for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I had Drake beating Wichita State, but I don't have them going any further than that. I think if Wichita State had won, they could have made a run in the tournament, maybe beating USC and making their way all the way to the Sweet 16 possibly. I thought the Shockers were a good team this year, but I just had a gut feeling on Drake. Now I have USC advancing in that one. Now this is a 3 seed versus a 14 seed. Eastern Washington versus Kansas. Eastern Washington, the 14 seed, and Kansas, the 3 seed. Now, I have Kansas advancing in this matchup because I don't think fondly of Eastern Washington. I don't think they're a good team. I think they take ill-advised shots. I think Kansas is smarter than them. They're going to outplay them, even though they have some COVID protocols too. Kansas advances in that one. Will go on to face USC. Now, 7-seeded Oregon will go on to face 10-seeded VCU. Now, I usually like to take the 10 seed over the 7 seed, and I like VCU, but I think Oregon, they always play fairly well in the tournament, usually advance a round or two. So I have Oregon winning this game over VCU, 20-6 on the season. VCU's 19-7. Pretty even matchup when you think about it, but I have Oregon on top here. Now, Iowa and Grand Canyon. I think fondly of Iowa, actually. I believe they're a great team. They got a lot of great players. They have a really good shot at going all the way. Luka Garza is going to carry them. Now, I have Iowa winning that game, and they will go on to face Oregon. Now that is the end of the West region. We'll be going on to the East region. Number 1, Michigan, who is 20-4 on the season, will go on to play Texas Southern. I had also took Texas Southern. They were on a 9-game winning streak going into the first 4, and will go on to play Michigan. Won't matter. Michigan will advance. I think that Texas Southern will keep it close, though, going into halftime, so watch out for that. Michigan just has too much gas on the pedal. Now, LSU will go on to face St. Bonaventure. I like the Bonnies. They're a good basketball team. But a lot of people are saying to me right now, well, Landon, St. Bonaventure's a 9 seed and LSU's an 8 seed. I think the Bonnies should have been over LSU. They're a good basketball team. St. Bonaventure is 16-4. LSU's 18-9. LSU is 18-9 on the season. I believe that St. Bonaventure is a better team, but it's March Madness, so I do believe that Louisiana State University will come on top and advance to the second round to play Michigan. Now, after this game, we have Colorado and Georgetown. Now, any Syracuse fan hates the Hoyas. But Colorado is not a good basketball team. And I'm my unbiased opinion. That's always come on the Bleed Orange Network for unbiased opinions. Georgetown, the Hoyas. The Hoyas will advance and go to the second round. Hate to say it. I'm going to try and get out of that. I'm trying to get them out of there as soon as possible, though. Florida State, a 4 seed, will go on to face UNC Greensboro, the 13 seed. Florida State is not playing their best basketball at the end of the season. You love to play good basketball before going into March Madness, but unfortunately, they are not playing good basketball. Florida State will advance, though, because they catch a break playing UNC Greensboro, not the brightest 13 seed. BYU will go on to play UCLA. Now, I chose Michigan State in that matchup. That's the one game I went wrong. I went 3 out of 4 in the first 4 yesterday. Now, I believe that UCLA will beat BYU. Here's the thing. I had Michigan State winning and Michigan State advancing to the second round, but I'm going to say BYU comes on top over UCLA. Now, UCLA is not the strongest team, the best shooting team or anything. They aren't. So that's why I have BYU beating them. A good team from the conference with Gonzaga. Played them a few times. Few of their losses were just to Gonzaga and a few other losses here and there. 20-6 on the season. Great record. They advanced to the second round. And then in there, it will be Texas and Abilene Christian. Now, a lot of these 14 and 13 seeds, I usually choose a bunch of them each year, but I don't like a lot of them. I don't think they're good teams. Now, Texas, the 3 seed, will go on to play Abilene Christian. Texas, I love. They're a really good team. I don't think they deserve to be a 3 seed. They could have snuck in there and took Bama's spot, but that's something to debate about. I believe Texas will beat Abilene Christian and advance to the second round, which means we will have BYU and Texas. The last game in this, or second to last game in the East, we have Yukon and Maryland. Now, I love picking the 10 seeds over 7 seeds. Yukon is a good basketball team. Maryland is having a rough patch right now, not going good into this NCAA tournament, but Maryland is the better team, and I'm going to have them coming up on top, even though they're not good in clutch situations. Now, Bama and Iona. I'm excited to watch this game. Rick Pitino. And if you guys know me, you know how I feel about the Louisville Cardinals. You know how I feel about Louisville. And I don't see Rick Pitino with Iona getting into the tournament once again, but they did, and they will go on to play Bama. The one reason they weren't a 16 seed was for one reason and one reason only. Rick Pitino is the coach. They will go on to play the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yep, you heard me right. They win national championships, and they also are 2 seeds in March Madness. They're good at everything, I guess. Now, Bama will go on to play Iona. They will demolish them. But the first half will be close. Now, whenever I think of a 1 and 16 seed, I always pick 2 that keep it close. But this 2 and 15 seed game is going to be real close. But Bama is going to come on top and break away at the end. Now, that is the end of the East Conference. We will go over the second round games right now. Gonzaga will go on to play Oklahoma in the second round. Creighton will go on to play Virginia in the second round. USC will go on to play Kansas in the second round. Oregon will go on to play Iowa in the second round, and that is the West Conference. East Conference, Michigan will beat Texas Southern. LSU will beat St. Bonaventure, and that will be your game. Michigan and LSU. Georgetown and Florida State. Michigan State, who is out now, BYU versus Texas. And Maryland versus Bama. That is your East Conference. We will go on to the South. You know what? No, we'll just do our predictions right now and here. I believe that Gonzaga will go on to beat Oklahoma in the West for the first game in the second round. Creighton will lose to the Cavaliers when they have their players back, and Virginia will advance to the Sweet 16. USC and Kansas, I have USC playing a tight game against Kansas, but Kansas will eventually pull through out of COVID protocol. If still in, watch out for USC. And then you have Oregon and Iowa. I have Iowa and Luka Garza firing away and beating Oregon. That is it for the West. Michigan and LSU, I have Michigan advancing, but in a close game. Georgetown and Florida State, both, Georgetown's hot. They're a 12 seed. Florida State's cold, but they're a 4 seed. I don't like the Hoyas. Florida State advances to the Sweet 16. And then to end the West region, or no, 2 more games in the West region. You have BYU and Texas. I have Texas advancing in this game only because I didn't think BYU was even going to beat Michigan State if they had won. And then I have Maryland and Bama. I am going to take Bama in this one. Not many upsets, but watch out. They're coming soon. In the Sweet 16, in the West region, Gonzaga and Virginia, Kansas and Iowa. These are the 2 teams left in the West region. Gonzaga will fall to the Virginia Cavaliers in a close one. They will slowly break away with the foul game at the end. Virginia takes and goes to regionals, the Elite 8. Kansas and Iowa. I truly believe Iowa's a great team. Luka Garza firing away. Iowa takes this game against the Kansas. That is it for your West region. Going down, you have 2 more games in the East region and then moving on to the Elite 8. Michigan and Florida State. Michigan and Florida State. I think that Michigan will take over in this game, and I don't like choosing 1 seeds going this far. That's why I eliminated Gonzaga against the Virginia Cavaliers, but they don't have a tough schedule. They just ride right on. Florida State will go on a little bit of a run, but that's really it. And then you, of course, have Texas and Bama. Now, 3 seed will take the 2 seed here. I'm going to have Texas beating Alabama Crimson Tide. The final 4 teams in the left side of the bracket, the 2 teams left in the West, Virginia and Iowa. I'm going to have Iowa advancing to the final 4. Virginia, good, but not good enough to go to the final 4. Iowa is good enough with Luka Garza. Michigan and Texas in the East region for the Elite 8. I have Texas going to the final 4 on Easter Sunday. It's going to be a good one. I have Texas in a very, very close comeback, and Iowa and Texas in the final 4. Now, I am going to break this video up into 2 parts. The left side of the bracket I will be posting first, and the right side of the bracket we will do, and I will post in about 15 minutes. Just no, not looking at the scores or anything, because the games do start in about 15 minutes. Now in the final 4, you have Iowa and Texas. Now, I love Iowa. Besides the Orange, I think Iowa is going to go all the way, and that's what I have them doing. The 2-seeded Iowa will go and defeat the 3-seeded Texas and advance to the national championship. Now, that is my left side of the bracket. I will take a picture of this and I will add it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning into the Bleed Orange Network. And don't forget, now, I will be doing and predicting the Orange on this side, on the other side of this bracket today. But I will also be doing a preview tonight. So look forward to that. The Syracuse Orange are in March Madness. It is exciting. They will go on to face them at 9:40. Watch out for another video coming in about 20 minutes. Thank you. And always, always, always remember, let's go Syracuse. See you guys.